About 10 or 20 years ago in church world, there was this craze that we'll call it the seeker-friendly craze. Idea was that we wanted to help people who just want to come and see. Talked about that last week if you were here. Come and see Jesus. So churches went all in for people that were in the phase of, I'm just curious, I just want to see. I don't know if I believe it, but I'm going to come in. And in their pursuit of taking down cultural barriers that were not important, things like environment, things like that, to help people reach Jesus, they actually started doing some other things like far out. Here's some things they would do. They would play like a cover song. I went to a church and we did this. Every Sunday we'd play a cover song. And sometimes this would work. For us, it worked at first, but then when you have to play a new cover song every week and you're not very good at practicing it enough and you don't know the cover song because we're having to think of a new one, no one wants to hear a bad version of a Taylor Swift song in the beginning of church, right? No one wants to hear that. That's what would start to happen. But church would do that, so that way you come in, oh, I know this song. Maybe I can feel comfortable. Do a series based on a cultural movie or a show. Church did a phase where they were like, we're going to be really cool, which I've learned as I gotten older. The least cool thing you can do is try to be cool. That's the least cool thing you can do. This trend has died off a bit, and in a good and healthy way. Now, there's nothing wrong with making space for people to come and see. We talked about that last week, and we should do that some version. But here's what we're finding now in 2025. Here's what we're finding. People aren't as attracted to that culturally relevant church like they used to. They're actually attracted to counterculture churches. Here's why. Most people, whether you're a Christian or you're not a Christian, agree that culture is getting sicker and sicker and sicker. So people are desperately looking for something that counters the bad taste of culture. And we are salt. We change the flavor. Culture produces loneliness, but the church helps change the flavor so we don't have to be lonely. Culture produces depression. The church helps change the flavor so we don't have to be depressed. People aren't looking for the culturally relevant church as much as they used to. They're looking for an authentic church that can be themselves, that is counter the sickness of culture.